footman now, much less for a husband." "I shan't leave the house," I said, "so it doesn't matter." "Then I shall call somebody and have you kicked out," she cried. So then I rushed at her and beat her till she was bruised all over. "Impossible!" cried the prince, aghast. "I tell you it's true," said Rogojin quietly, but with eyes ablaze with passion. Then for a day and a half I neither slept nor ate nor drank, and would not leave her. I knelt at her feet. "I shall die here," I said, "if you don't forgive me. And if you have me turned out, I shall drown myself. Because what should I be without you now?" She was like a madwoman all that day. Now she would cry, now she would threaten me with a knife, now she would abuse me. She called in Zalesheff and Keller, and showed me to them, shamed me in their presence. "Let's all go to the theatre," she says, "and leave him here if he won't go. It's not my business. They'll give you some tea, Parfen Semyonovitch, while I'm away, for you must be hungry." She came back from the theatre alone. "Those cowards wouldn't come," she said. "They are afraid of you, and tried to frighten me too. 'He won't go away as he came,' they said. 'He'll cut your throat. See if he doesn't.' Now I shall go to my bedroom, and I shall not even lock my door, just to show you how much I am afraid of you. You must be shown that once for all. Did you have tea?" "No," I said, "and I don't intend to." "Ha, ha! You are playing off your pride against your stomach. That sort of heroism doesn't sit well on you," she said. With that she did as she had said she would. She went to bed and did not lock her door. In the morning she came out. "Are you quite mad?" she said sharply. "Why, you'll die of hunger like this." "Forgive me," I said. "No, I won't, and I won't marry you. I've said it. Surely you haven't sat in this chair all night without sleeping?" "I didn't sleep," I said. How sensible of you. And are you going to have no breakfast or dinner today?" "I told you I wouldn't." "Forgive me." "You've no idea how unbecoming this sort of thing is to you," she said. "It's like putting a saddle on a cow's back. Do you think you are frightening me? My word, what a dreadful thing that you should sit here and eat no food. How terribly frightened I am." She wasn't angry long, and didn't seem to resent my offence at all. I was surprised, for she is a vindictive, resentful woman. But then I thought perhaps she despised me too much to feel any resentment against me. And that's the truth. She came up to me and said, "Do you know who the Pope of Rome is?" "I've heard of him," I said. "I suppose you've read the Universal History, Parfen Semyonovitch, haven't you?" she asked. "I've learned nothing at all," I said. "Then I'll lend it to you to read. You must know there was a Roman Pope once, and he was very angry with a certain emperor. So the emperor came and neither ate nor drank, but knelt before the Pope's palace till he should be forgiven. And what sort of vows do you think that the emperor was making during all those days on his knees? Stop, I'll read it to you." Then she read me a lot of verses where it said that the emperor spent all the time vowing vengeance against the Pope. "You don't mean to say you don't approve of the poem, Parfen Semyonovitch?" she says. "All you have read out is perfectly true," say I. "Aha!" says she, "you admit it's true, do you? And you are making vows to yourself that if I marry you, you will remind me of all this and take it out of me." "I don't know," I say. "Perhaps I was thinking like that, and perhaps I was not. I'm not thinking of anything just now." "What are your thoughts, then?" I'm thinking that when you rise from your chair and go past me, I watch you and follow you with my eyes. If your dress does but rustle, my heart sinks. If you leave the room, I remember every little word and action, and what your voice sounded like, and what you said. I thought of nothing all last night, but sat here listening to your sleeping breath, and heard you move a little, twice. And as for your attack upon me, she says, I suppose you never once thought of that. Perhaps I did think of it, and perhaps not, I say. And what if I don't either forgive you or marry you? I tell you I shall go and drown myself. She said, and then relapsed into silence. Then she got angry and went out. I suppose you'd murder me before you drowned yourself, though, she cried as she left the room. An hour later she came to me again, looking melancholy. I will marry you, Parfen Semyonovitch, she says, not because I'm frightened of you, but because it's all the same to me how I ruin myself. And how can I do it better? Sit down, they'll bring you some dinner directly. And if I do marry you, I'll be a faithful wife to you, you need not doubt that. Then she thought a bit and said, at all events, you are not a flunkey. At first I thought you were no better than a flunkey. And she arranged the wedding and fixed the day straight away on the spot. Then in another week she had run away again and came here to Lebedeff's. And when I found her here, she said to me, I'm not going to renounce you altogether, but I wish to put off the wedding a bit longer yet, just as long as I like, for I am still my own mistress, so you may wait if you like. That's how the matter stands between us now. What do you think of all this, Lef Nicolaievitch? What do you think of it yourself? Replied the prince, looking sadly at Rogojin. As if I can think anything about it. He was about to say more, but stopped in despair. The prince rose again, as if he would leave. At all events, I shall not interfere with you, he murmured, as though making answer to some secret thought of his own. I'll tell you what, cried Rogojin, and his eyes flashed fire. I can't understand your yielding her to me like this. I don't understand it. Have you given up loving her altogether? At first you suffered badly. I know it. I saw it. Besides, why did you come post-haste after us? Out of pity, eh? Ha ha ha! His mouth curved in a mocking smile. Do you think I am deceiving you? Asked the prince. No, I trust you, but I can't understand. It seems to me that your pity is greater than my love. A hungry longing to speak his mind out seemed to flash in the man's eyes, combined with an intense anger. Your love is mingled with hatred, and therefore when your love passes, there will be the greater misery, said the prince. I tell you this, Parfen. What, that I'll cut her throat, you mean? The prince shuddered. You'll hate her afterwards for all your present love, and for all the torment you are suffering on her account now. What seems to me the most extraordinary thing is that she can again consent to marry you, after all that has passed between you. When I heard the news yesterday, I could hardly bring myself to believe it. Why, she has run twice from you, from the very altar rails, as it were. She must have some presentiment of evil. What can she want with you now? Your money? Nonsense! Besides, I should think you must have made a fairly large hole in your fortune already. Surely it is not because she is so very anxious to find a husband. She could find many a one besides yourself. Anyone would be better than you, because you will murder her. and I feel sure she must know that but too well by